The lymph formation and components of the lymphatic system. The lymphatic capillary wall, the yellow one, its wall consists of one layer of cell only. And the lymphatic capillary is different from the blood capillary because one of the end is closed while the other one merged to form the lymphatic vessels. And lymphatic capillaries found in the intercellular spaces will merge to form larger lymphatic vessels, and along the lymphatic vessels you can see some lymph nodes at certain distances like this one. So what are the organs that form these lymphatic systems? They are the lymph nodes, the spleen, the thymus, gland, the bone marrow, tonsils, and also the appendix. The lymphatic system does not have its own pump to circulate the lymph along the lymphatic vessels. It is different from the blood circulatory system because blood circulatory system has got the heart as the pump. Therefore the flow of the lymph is aided by this following, which is the heartbeat pulse, contraction of the skeletal muscles, peristalsis in the digestive tract, as well as changes in pressure during inhalation and exhalation of breath. In the lymphatic vessels, there are valves. Like this one, there are valves. So this is important to prevent backflow and to ensure one direction of flowing. Alright, so this is from here, the closed end of the lymphatic capillary, and as you zoom in, there you are, you can see the cells around it. So in between the cells has got this tissue fluid. So once this tissue fluid diffuses through into this lymphatic capillary, it is no longer called tissue fluid, but it is known as the lymph. Now spleen and also the thymus gland is part of the organs that form the lymphatic system. Now let's look at how are the blood circulatory system and the lymphatic system related. Alright, so all the lymphatic vessels, all the green ones over here that you can see, eventually they will join with one of the two main lymphatic vessels. So the two main lymphatic vessels, we have the thoracic duct, and also the right lymphatic duct. So right lymphatic duct receives lymph from the right side, right hand, chest, and also right side of the head and the neck area. And it is going to return all these lymph back into the blood circulatory system through this vein known as the right subclavian vein. Alright, also thoracic duct is from receiving lymph from the left side of the head, neck and chest, as well as all the body parts below the ribs. Do you still remember lacteal when we were in chapter nutrition? Alright, let's continue. Later on, we'll be looking at the lacteal again. Now, the thoracic duct delivers its content into the left subclavian vein. The right lymphatic duct transports the lymph into the right subclavian vein. So these statements tells us how are these two systems related. The blood circulatory system and the lymphatic system, they are related. Now these are the necessities of the lymphatic system. It is very important because it complements the blood circulatory system. In what sense? By means of returning excess tissue fluid in the intercellular space back into the blood circulation. So this is important to ensure that the composition, pressure and volume of the blood are maintained at the normal range. Besides that, lymphatic system is also involved in body defense mechanism because the lymph nodes is the one that will produce and store lymphocytes, which is a cell in the white blood cells, the leukocytes, that is involved in productions of antibodies. Also, remember I mentioned lacteal just now. So the fats and fat-soluble substances will diffuse into the lacteal in the villus of the small intestine. Okay, you may want to recall this by referring back to the chapter nutrition, okay, to look into the lacteal. Lacteal is actually lymphatic capillary, and the lipid droplets will be transported to the thoracic duct, but eventually it will go back to the blood circulatory system, and that is through the left subclavian vein. Okay, have you ever seen people with their legs swell after they sit for long time? Okay, this happens because the tissue fluid is unable to be returned to the blood circulatory system, so they end up accumulating in the intercellular space, and this will result in swelling of the body tissues, a condition known as edema. And edema can be caused by several factors. Okay, these are the factors. Okay, pregnancy. Maybe you have seen pregnant mother towards their end of the pregnancy, the lower extremities, that means their legs are swollen. Okay, this is one of the causes of edema because the body itself produces more body fluid to fulfill the needs of a growing fetus. But this one differ from mother to mother because some pregnant mother does not experience this. Okay, another one is prolonged bedridden patients because of their limited movement. Okay, limited movement usually because the patients are unable to move due to paralyzed or having stroke. So they suffer edema in their legs. Okay, another one is deficiency caused by deficiency in the plasma protein, and that is the albumin in the blood. Okay, albumin is very important because it is going to maintain the blood osmotic pressure. Alright, so also maybe you have seen those country that is having this starvation problem. Kwashiorkor, patient with kwashiorkor, they experience swelling because of this lack of protein in their diet. Okay, last but not least is parasitic infection. Parasite worms. Parasites infects the lymphatic vessels, causing blockage and preventing the flow of the lymphatic fluid. So the infected part, for example, the leg will swell. Okay, and this is the photo showing a patient contracting with lymphatic filariasis, filarial worm, and this worm is said to be transmitted through the mosquito bites. And now we have come to the end of the chapter, and let's recall back. We have gone through the types of circulatory system, which is open and closed. Also, we have looked into the circulatory system of humans. These are the components, the mechanism of the heartbeat, blood clotting, as well as the health issues related to blood clotting, the blood groups of humans, okay, as well as the health issues related to the human circulatory system. Right, these are the diseases. Okay, and the second part is on the lymphatic system, where we have covered through the components, the necessity, also the health issues related to it. Okay, and that's it for this chapter.